Earlier we built a view function to respond to requests sent to this endpoint, /movies. Now currently we're only displaying this hello world message. That's pretty boring. So over the next few lectures, we're going to modify this page and display the list of movies in our database. So here's the movie class we created earlier. As you can see, we derived this class from the model class in Django. But why? Because this model class gives us a bunch of methods for creating, retrieving, updating, and deleting objects from our database. So if you want to store a movie object in our database, we simply call one of these methods called save. That save method will internally take care of generating the right SQL statements to update our database. This is what we call a Database Abstraction API. So this model class gives us an API, which is short for Application Programming Interface. And this API abstracts away the complexity of working with a database. So now let me show you how to use this API to get the list of movie objects from our database. So in our Movies app, let's open up the Views module. So here's the index view function that we created earlier. Currently, we're returning this hello world. Now we're going to use our model API to get all the movie objects from our database. So first on the top, from the models module in the current folder, let's import the movie class. Now, in this function, we simply write movie.objects.all. With this statement, we can get all the movie objects in our database. So when we call this, at some point, Django is going to generate a SQL statement like this. Select star from movies, underline movie. We also have a method for filtering records. So that is movie.objects.filter. Here we can pass arbitrary keyword arguments, like give me all the movies with release year set to 1984. When we call this, at some point, Django is going to generate a SQL statement like this. Select star from movies, underline movie, where release year equals blah, blah, blah. We also have a method for getting a single object. So movie.objects.get, and here we pass a keyword argument. Let's say we want to get the movie with ID equal to 1. We also have methods for saving movie objects or deleting them from our database. So these methods represent our Database Abstraction API that simplify a lot of cases. Now, sometimes we're dealing with complex queries. If these methods don't do what we need, we can always send raw SQL statements to our database. Now, that aside, in this demo, let's call the all method to get the list of movies from our database. So movies. Now, I'm going to use a list comprehension to get the title of these movies. So m.title for m in movies. So now we have a list of our strings. We can join these strings using a comma as a separator like this. So a string of comma dot join. So this will combine all the elements in our list and return a string. We can store that here in output. And finally, instead of this hello world, we can send the output. Save the changes. Back in the browser, let's refresh. There you go. So just before recording this video, I added another movie, Hangover. So this verifies that we could successfully get all the movies from our database. But we don't want to display them like this. We want to render them using some HTML markup. And that's what I'm going to show you next.